space and then and.
Oh, okay. Well, let me look at that when we get an opportunity, okay? When we're done with our learning, we'll go ahead and look at that. All right, guys. So, I have a question.
Yes.
Raise a quiet hand if you have ever watched a family member cook. Nice. Keep your hand in the air if you have ever watched a family member use liquid for cooking. Right? Milk or chicken broth. A lot of you. Last question. Keep your hand in the air if you have helped measure liquid for a recipe. Wow, like half of my students. That's awesome. So we have some prior knowledge we get to use, right? How about sports? Raise a quiet hand if you play sports. Holy moly. Most of you, yeah? It's really important when we play sports that we stay hydrated. Agreed? We don't want to be dehydrated. So we're going to learn today, we're going to continue to learn about measuring volume, liquid, right? And part of that we can apply to our life is cooking, right? Part of that when we can apply to our life is playing sports and making sure that we're drinking the correct amount of water to stay hydrated. Yeah? Before we get started though, I want to review some vocabulary. Some of these words we already learned, right? We've already been exposed to, so we're going to activate that prior knowledge. The first word is volume. Do you remember volume?
Yes.
Volume is how much liquid is inside a container, right? Yes. Can you say this word with me? Volume. Great job, everyone. The next word we're going to talk about is capacity. Do you remember this word?
Yes.
Yes, very nice. Capacity is how much a container can hold. Now there's a difference, right? Volume is how much it has in it. Capacity, Yadi, do you mind grabbing the door for me? Capacity is how much it can hold. So notice this container has 300 milliliters in it, but it shows here that it can hold 500 milliliters. So this has how much is in it, this is how much can be in it. Last word we're going to talk about today is equivalent, right? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Can you say this word with me? Capacity. Good, I want to make sure we all can pronounce that. Equivalent. Equivalent means they're equal in amount, right? We can hear the root word equal, equivalent, right? You're going to notice these pizzas are both cut in half into equal pieces. Can you say equivalent with me?
Equivalent.
Nice job. Now, while we're talking today, while we're discussing, while we're pair sharing, we want to try as often as we can to use our vocabulary. That way we can build up our vocabulary. Who's my phone in office?
I'm the last one. Since keeps fast. Yes.
Oh, Nicole, go to reading. We miss you already. Okay? So, we've learned about some of this already. We've talked about, today we're going to use a number line. We've learned how to use a number line, right? We did it last year in second grade. We've done it this year quite a lot. We've also learned how to start measuring things, right? Earlier this week we talked about weighing things and measurements in weight. Yesterday we started to learn how to measure liquid, yeah? So we want to make sure we're activating that prior knowledge. We talked about liters. We talked about milliliters. Do you remember this vocabulary?
Yes.
So we want to make sure that we're using that information that we've already started learning and apply it today to our learning objectives. So, Aubrey, do you mind scooching in just a smidge? Thank you, my friend. Today's learning goal. Our objective. Who can raise a quiet hand and remember what an objective is? Maria. Our job. Today, our job, our objective is to estimate and measure liquid. Excuse me, let me try that again. Estimate and measure liquid volume in liters and milliliters using a vertical number line. So we've used horizontal number lines a lot, right? The number lines that lay on their bellies. Now we're going to turn it straight up and tall, and we're going to use a vertical number line, okay? All right. Yes, Kyle?
What is a vertical number line?
A vertical number line, just like I mentioned, is a number line that stands straight and tall, stands upright, just like a proper noun, right? So we've used a lot of those horizontal number lines that lay on their belly. Now we're going to use one that stands up straight and tall, okay? Before we get started, I also want to review our learning expectations, right? Classroom agreements. Who can tell me what you need to do if you need to leave your seat? Nylea.
Raise a quiet hand.
Yes, if you need to leave your seat, raise a quiet hand unless you need a tissue, okay? What if you want to share an idea or a strategy? Gabriella. Raise a quiet hand and be patient until the teacher calls on you. Very nice. Another really important learning objective is being a good listener, right? Making sure that we're making eye contact, right? Pausing and waiting for that person to finish. Yeah? Go ahead, Justin.
Being responsible.
Being responsible when we're being good listeners, right? How about our materials? We want to use those responsibly. Yeah, we're going to be measuring some liquid today. And the last thing we want to happen is spill our water and make a huge mess. So let's make sure that when we're using our materials, we're using them responsibly, including our whiteboards, okay? Do we draw pictures on our whiteboards?
No.
No, not unless that's part of the assignment, right?
Yeah.
We want to make sure and use those responsibly. Also, flexible seats. Let's remember that we're going to use on our stability balls small bounces, keeping all of our legs and feet on the ground so we can all be safe. We don't want anyone to fall and hurt themselves. And then lastly, sentence frames. When we talk with our partners, when we talk as a group, we want to make sure we're using sentence frames. So we have these ones here. When you're sharing, I think we need to blank because blank, right? You've used these before. The next partner will say, I agree or disagree because blank. It's important that we explain our thinking. The other sentence frame that I want you to use is the one on the white poster paper, just like we've used before. If you need to call on a friend, then we're going to use that sentence frame. I would like to hear from my blank classmate or friend. Thumbs up if you could do that. If you agree to these learning expectations. Ooh, I don't see all my thumbs. Awesome, very cool. All right, go ahead and pull out your whiteboards, please. Your dry erase markers and your erasers. Jeremiah, will you do me a favor and put this away? Thank you. Let's see who's going to be ready. Let's see who's ready. I see a couple of friends who are already starting to draw on their whiteboards. Let's remember our learning agreements, right? Ooh, Ethan's ready. Holy moly, table 1. Great job, guys. I'm going to go ahead and give you some table points for being ready so quickly and quietly. Who else is ready? Ooh, table 4. Everyone's ready and slanting. Let's see if table 5 is ready. Table 5 is ready. Ready to learn. I'm so proud of you. Table 2. And table 3. Gosh, guys. So far, great start. What we're going to do now is predict. We're going to use some higher order thinking, and we are going to predict. We have a 1 liter container. Do you remember seeing this yesterday?
Yes.
Yes. This is our 1 liter container. And we have already marked how high on that container is 1 liter. We're going to create that vertical number line. And we're going to predict how many 100 liter cups does it take to fill a 1 liter container. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to talk with your partner. If you guys want to make a tripod here, since a couple of our friends are missing, that would be awesome. Karen, do you want to also have a tripod with your friends Nylia and Aubrian? And then Leslie, do you mind working with Ethan and partnering with Ethan? So I'm going to have you talk with your partner. Maybe you guys want to come together. Ariana, you want to sit here? I'm going to have you talk with your partner and use your thinking skills, your higher order thinking. Please use our sentence frames. Those of you that have a tripod, you can select which partner you wish to be, okay? Partner B, I want you to use the sentence frame. I think we need to blank. You're going to try and think of the strategy that you're going to use to predict how many cups it takes. Partner A is going to respond whether you agree or disagree. We're going to go ahead and start sharing. Aubrey, yes?
Can I come by here?
Absolutely. Just be very careful with the Elmo, okay? Because we want to make sure we can use that. How about we use the stool right here? Aubrey, do you mind helping her? Maria, do you mind scooching in your flexible seating? Thank you. Go ahead and talk with your partner. I'm going to come around and listen in on your conversations. Talk with your partner about what you predict and write your prediction or your equation on your whiteboard.
How many 100 milliliter cups do you predict it will take to fill up that 100 container? Let me show you. Classity class.
Yes.
I forgot to show you. This is the 100 milliliter cup. Do you remember from yesterday? Yes. Just a friendly reminder. Go ahead and continue to talk with your partner. Okay. But that was with the little dropper, right? Now we're using the cup. How many cups do you think it'll take to fill that container, Kyle? What would you predict?
50.
Oh, 50, okay.
No, wait.
Let's look at the container. Do you see that? See the water? How many waters?
1.
You think it will take 1 water to fill up all the way to that line?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and write your prediction on your whiteboard. Students, go ahead and write your prediction on your whiteboard. Using your discussions. If you decide to challenge yourself and use a sentence to respond with your answers, I predict that. That would be amazing. Go ahead and write your predictions on your whiteboards and wrap it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. That's okay, Kyle. All right, I went ahead and pre-selected a friend. Mr. Ethan, you partnered up with Leslie. Can you please share what you discussed?
I predict it would take 200 millimeters.
Milliliters, right? Let's remember that word, milliliters. Very cool. 200 milliliters. So you believe it'll take 2 of these cups. This cup is 100, and then 1 more cup would be 200. Is that your prediction? Very cool. Nice. I love how you responded with a full sentence. Now what I'm going to do is call on some friends. We're going to fill this 1 liter container, and we're going to test our prediction. Yeah? So raise a quiet hand if you would like to be responsible with our materials and start to pour. Maria, can you put your marker down and come pour? We're going to do it 1 cup at a time. And we're going to start marking our number line. All right, so go ahead and pour our first. All right, there's 100 milliliters. Now we're looking at our prediction, right? So our number line is going to start at the first, go ahead and have a seat, at the first 100 milliliters. Who else would like to participate? Justin, come on up. Here's another 100 milliliter cup. Can you pour that in our 1 liter container? Thank you. All right, there's our next tick mark. Look at that. We're starting to build our number line. This is exciting. Kyle, can you come up and pour our next 100 milliliter cup? Very cool. Good job. Careful with your flexible seating. It got away from you. Now we're going to write our next tick on our number line. How many so far is that? 3 cups. 3 100 milliliter cups, right? Samantha, can you come and fill the next one or pour the next one? Oh, this is exciting. I'm starting to get so excited to see where this ends up. That's 4. Look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tick marks.
Can you do it again?
Ooh, we're going to keep going till we fill it to the line and see how many it takes. Gavin, can you come and help us? So far far we've got 4. This is gonna make 5. What do you think? Do you think it'll fill it all the way?
No.
No, not really? Ooh, there's our next tick mark. Not quite. Thank you, Gavin. How about Paulina? Can you come and pour the next one?
Yay.
I know. This is exciting, isn't it?
I can't see it.
I'll go ahead and hold it up. Go ahead, Paulina. Can you pour this one in? Go ahead. Right here. Good job. I'll help you. All the way. All the way. Ooh, this is making me thirsty. All right, next tick mark. Here we go. Vertical number line is building. How about Jeremiah? Come on up. Let's see what's. Go ahead and pour the next one. Oh, still not there yet. Thank you, Jeremiah. So close. Okay. How about Madison? Let's see. Oh, not quite. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Madison. Nylea. Come on up, Nylea. Nayeli, I'm sorry, Nayeli. Miss Nye, can you pour the next one?
This is gonna make it.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh, not quite. So close.
Left.
And one more. One more responsible friend, Anthony M.
Oh. Good job, Anthony.
Wow, we made it to our 1 liter tick mark. Here's our vertical number line. Now I'm noticing that our ticks are a tiny bit uneven, right? Just a tiny bit. And maybe that's because, maybe that's because some of the cups were a tiny bit off. But we can see that it takes, count with me, 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Kyle, I love your enthusiasm, but let's try not to yell. 10 cups. How many milliliters are in each cup? 100. Now what I'm going to have you do is estimate. Okay? I want you to calculate how many milliliters are in 1 liter. We're going to use our strategies that we've used in the past, right? Maybe we're going to count our tick lines on our vertical number line. Maybe we're going to multiply. If we have 100 milliliters in each cup, and we have 10 cups, please talk with your partner about the strategy you believe you should use. And write your equation on your whiteboard. Go ahead and talk, please.
So there's 10, so we should put like 100 in each one.
Okay, in each group? In each cup?
Yeah, each cup.
Okay, can you write that on your board? Write that on your whiteboard? Show me your work.
Don't forget to write your equation on your whiteboard so we can see your work. You may use a number line. You may use an equation, a math equation. Maybe you need to draw pictures so that you can see that visually.
So we could get 10 times 100 times 100 is 100.
So we have 10 cups, and in each cup is 100 milliliters. So your equation is your multiplication. Would you guys mind sharing? Awesome, thank you.
All right, go ahead and wrap up your conversations in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I went ahead and pre-selected some friends to explain their strategy and tell us their answer. Madison and Anthony, can you please share with us? Go ahead and choose one of you. Go ahead and share with us.
So what me and Anthony came up with was, so first we predicted and wrote our sentence, which said, I predict that it can hold 10 cups, which then we will write. So then we went down more, and then we did a number line, and that showed the math equation that we were actually writing.
Okay, very nice. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, what I heard you say is that you used a number line, the vertical number line, but put it on its side to change it to a horizontal line and counted the tick marks and then made a multiplication equation out of that. Is that correct? May I show them your work? And they even took it one step farther and answered with a full sentence. Madison, would you read your sentence to us?
I predict that it can hold 10 cups.
10 cups, which is how many milliliters altogether?
1,000.
Wow! Let's give them a great job on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Great job!
Very nice, everyone. All right, so now what we're going to do is estimate how much would we need to pour out if we wanted to make it half. We have a full full liter container, right? Now, that's 1,000 milliliters. We know that because we all calculated that. Now we want to figure out how much will we need to pour out to get to half, right? We're not going to do the math equation or calculate that answer just yet, but looking at our vertical number line, not using your eyes necessarily, because that's pretty easy. We can usually see what halfway in a container is, right? We want to estimate where, or calculate where the halfway point is, right? Try to challenge yourself. Don't just look at it and use your eyes. Try to write on your whiteboards, talk with your partner, how you would figure that out. Maybe one strategy might be that you take those tick lines, those 10 tick lines that Madison showed us, and you divide them by 2 into half, right? Maybe you might also skip count by 100. Go ahead and talk with your partner. Don't forget to use our sentence frames and our vocabulary if we can.
Take 500 less makes it to the middle. So it's
Okay. How would you do that to find half? Okay. Can you write that on your board? Can you write your answers? Would you be willing to share? Okay.
Ooh, so many amazing conversations happening. Go ahead and wrap your conversation up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I went ahead and pre-selected some more friends to share their answer. Jeremiah and Kevin, you guys collaborated so amazingly. Can you share with us what your strategy was to find half?
strategy was to get 1,000 and take away 500.
Very nice. So you used subtraction. Very awesome. Let's give them a great job on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Great job!
All right, everyone. Now we're going to go ahead and put our markers down and our erasers. Let's be ready to watch our video. We're going to use Zern and we're going to interact with this whiteboard. We talked about where we thought the halfway point would be. Number 3. Can you please come and select the answer that you believe to be true? Who's number 3? Jeremiah. Oh, that works out nicely. Come on up. You can come up. Select which one is the halfway point on this beaker. Do you want to call on a friend? It's up to you. Which one do you believe is the halfway point after your calculations? Go ahead and press enter. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. You got it! Very nice. Good job, Jeremiah. Oopsies, the volume's down. Let's do this. Let's do this again. Oh, thank you. Who said that? Karen, you're so sweet. We all make mistakes, right?
for 100 milliliters of Here's the halfway point to 1 liter. Let's think more about what that number is. Instead of thinking of the number that's halfway between 0 milliliters and 1,000 milliliters, remember that I poured water into the beaker 100 milliliters at a time. We started with 0 hundreds and filled it with 10 hundreds. What number is halfway between 0 hundreds and 10 hundreds? Label the halfway point now.
We did this, didn't we? But now we're going to talk about it in terms of hundreds, right? We've already talked about how many milliliters, but how many hundreds is it, right? We can count tick marks, we can skip count in our head. Let me see if number 22, where are you? Come on up, Maria. Can you tell us how many hundreds is the halfway point? What's halfway between 0 and 10 hundredths? Is it 100s? Is it 200s? Is it 300s? Is it 400s? How many hundreds? Yeah, go ahead and write the number. How many hundreds do you believe it to be? Okay, go ahead and write 5 or type 5. And let's hit enter and see if that's correct. Do we think it's 500 hundredths? Oh, good job. Let's see. Try again. Come on over here so they can, there you go. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent.
Well done, Maria.
Good
Oh,
job,
so proud.
Maria. Good
Our
job,
students
Maria.
are so smart.
Let's dive in now. I'm going to try to pour 200 milliliters into my beaker without using the cup, just using the lines. Where should I pour to?
200 milliliters. It is a lot, but we got this. All right. How about number 20? Who's number 20? Anthony S. Can you come up and select which beaker shows 200 milliliters? 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Nice job.
Each tick mark represents 100 milliliters. We know the water level is at 200 milliliters when it reaches the second tick mark. Is the water level less than halfway, more than halfway, or about halfway to a liter?
Okay, so now we're going to estimate, right? Each tick mark is 100 milliliters, 200, 300. In this image, let's see who can tell me. 19, where are you? Gavin, do you want to come up? Can you tell me if this measurement is less than halfway? Is this measurement more than halfway? Or is it about halfway to a liter? We already calculated where the halfway point is, right? All right, let's give it a try. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Excellent.
Good job, Gavin.
The water is less than halfway to a liter. How many milliliters would we need to add to get to the halfway point? Let's figure it out.
All right, let's figure this out. How many milliliters of water do we need to add to get to the halfway point? We know where the halfway point is, right? Let's reactivate that memory, that prior knowledge. Let's remember, halfway point. Okay, we have 200 milliliters. How many milliliters do we need to add? Number 1. Oh, Nicole. Nicole's not here. No problem, she's at reading. Let's have number 9. Leslie, come on up, my friend. Leslie, we have 200 milliliters, and we want to go up to our halfway point. Do you remember where our halfway point was? Yes. So maybe we could do some addition or subtraction on our whiteboards, right? Maybe we could use the vertical number line. Go ahead, Leslie. How many should we add? How many milliliters? 3 milliliters? Oh, that's okay. Let's try this again,
Gavin,
Leslie.
go
Should
get
we add
Kyle
3
at the restroom. Tell him to
milliliters?
come back.
Remember, we have 200 milliliters, and we want to get to the halfway point.
Sit down.
Kyle, have a seat, buddy, in your flexible seating. 4 milliliters. Do you want to try that, or maybe we can think? We have 200 milliliters, and we want to get to 500 milliliters. Should we maybe add some hundreds instead of just singles? 400? Ooh, she's thinking so well. I see all of that learning happening. 300. Go ahead and check your answer. Let's see if that's correct. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Good work.
Very nice thinking. I love how she wasn't quite sure and she was processing it and using those brain cells. That's how learning happens, right?
I'll pour in 100. 200.
It's like skip counting, right?
Yes.
300 milliliters more to get to halfway. Look, now the water is about halfway to 1 liter because there are about 500 milliliters in the container. Let's look at a few more. Read the directions closely. In some of these, the question asks for exactly how much water is in the beaker. In others, you'll estimate.
Okay, so
Go
we
for
need to
it.
read the directions carefully. All right, now we've switched to liters. Remember, the capital L is for liters. That's like the mama measurement. It's the big measurement, right? The milliliters is the small l, the lowercase l, M, the lowercase m, right? The baby m, the smaller baby measurements. All right, who can tell me, actually, let me see if I can make this equal and just randomly select number 5. Number 5, Samantha, can you please come up and tell me how many liters is in this container? What is the volume? There's one of our vocabulary words. What's the volume of our container? Samantha believes 1 liter. 10 liters? 1 liter? Oh, 1, 2, 3.
You got it.
Great job, Samantha. Oh, how much liquid is in this container? What's the volume of this container, number 2? Brian. I saw you hoping you got called. Can we be safe and go around here? I don't want anyone to trip. Brian, this container looks like it's filled to capacity, right? The capacity, or how much it can hold, is 6 liters. What's the volume? Let's try to check your answer. Oh, 1, 2, 3, nice! Very cool. Estimate the amount of, now we're going to estimate. So we want to see which tick mark is our volume closer to. Is it closer to 4 liters? Is it closer to 5 liters? Number 24. 24? Kevin, come on up, Kevin. Can you help us estimate the volume of this container? You believe it's closer to 5 liters. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
You got it.
Great job, Kevin. All right, now we're going to estimate milliliters, the smaller measurements. How about number 11, Mr. Kyle? Come on up, my friend. Kyle, now we're estimating milliliters. Can you tell me which tick mark? What is the volume of this container? Let's go ahead and enter our answer. Milliliters. Oh, 4. Oopsies, that's okay. There you go, 4. Oh, actually, we're going to estimate it to the nearest 100. I love how you're trying to be accurate. That's fantastic. But let's estimate to the nearest 100. I'll help you. There you go. All right. What's the nearest 100 tick mark that this is close to? All right. You believe it's closest to the 300. Let's try that. Oh, that's okay. Let's try that again. Is it close to the 300 or is it close to the, let's see what he comes up with. Oh, 1, 2, 3, nice! Good job, Kyle.
It's time to wrap up. I'm going to do a science experiment using some other containers. I plotted the capacity of 2 containers on this number line. What is the capacity of each container?
Okay, going to start plotting our data, right? We know that we have this vertical number line that has the capacity of 2 different containers. Now we're going to use some of the skills we used before in telling time, right? Counting those tick marks. Some of the skills we used in the vertical number line. Container A. Let's see, it's number 8. Karen, can you tell us what the capacity of container A is on this number line? It starts at 30, goes to 40, 50. What's halfway between 30 and 40 on this vertical number line? And if you're not sure, you're welcome to call a friend. So I'm going to count these tick marks just to kind of help our friend out. So I'm going to see, starting at 30, come up and type your answer. Let's see if that's correct. Looks like she thought it through in her mind. So much learning happening in this room. Ooh, let's check your answer. Oh, we need to check container B now. Do you want to go ahead and phone a friend for container B, or do you want to give it a try? Okay, so container B is up here. This is our 70 milliliter tick mark. Is it on the 70? So if we're going up, 60, 65, 70. Oh my goodness, let's see if she's correct. Wow, 1, 2, 3, great job! You guys are so smart. I am so proud of my students. Now we need to find the difference. Raise a quiet hand if that clue word sounds familiar and you know what kind of math strategy we should use. What do we need to do to find the difference? That's our clue word. Anybody? Madison. What kind of math do we do? Hold on, let's first talk about what kind of math should we do to find the difference. Minus, right? We start with our highest number and we take away our lowest number, right? Yeah. Go ahead and do that math on your whiteboard, please. Let's use a subtraction equation. We're going to write down 71 minus or subtract 35. Some of us might need to stack it, right? Nicole, do you need help, sweetheart? Oh, let me help you find one. Let's see if we have any extras. I'll find you one. Does anybody have an extra marker at their table? Oh, great.
Here. We have one.
Oh, you do? Oh, very nice. Okay, great. You got it, Nicole? All right, go ahead and wrap up those equations. I see some friends stacking. Remember, we want to start with the biggest number first when we're subtracting. All right, I've pre-selected a friend who used a subtraction equation. Miss Samantha. Samantha, may I show everybody your work? It looks to me like Samantha started with her 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
Eyes on you, Scooby-Doo.
I really appreciate that you guys are being productive, but let's take a look here. She started with her big number, 71. She subtracted her smaller number, 35, right? 1 minus 5, we can't do that, right? So we have to borrow from the 7. 11 minus 5 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 36. Let's see if that's correct. Let me see if that's correct. Ah, 1, 2, 3, nice! Very good, everyone. Okay, so we've gone ahead and talked about some strategies, right? What I want to do really quickly right now, just for 1 minute, is debrief. We want to talk about those strategies that we used. What strategy did we use to predict? What strategy did we use to estimate the halfway point? What strategy did we use to calculate the difference? Please talk with your partner. This time I'd like you to switch. Instead of partner B starting it, I would love for partner A to start it. Okay? Moving forward in our problem set, we're going to apply our learning. You don't have to use these sentence frames if you don't want to. But what I'd like you to do is share your strategies. Partner A, can you start first? Share your strategies that you've used today in our learning. What strategies did you use?
That's true. What else did we do? We did measure liquid, but how? We subtracted to find the difference.
And then
We did add, right? I saw some friends skip counting. Yes. Yes, you used the vertical number line. That's right.
Go ahead and wrap up those conversations. Good job, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Where are my paper passers? Paper passers. May I please have my paper passers? Lydia, can you please pass these out to this side of our room? And Mr. Kyle, go ahead and pass these out to this side of our room. Please go ahead and put away your whiteboards. You can put those whiteboards away. And your markers and your erasers. Oh, you're such a good friend. Thank you. Let's see who's ready first. I'm going to go ahead and start awarding points to tables who are ready first. I see table 1 has got almost all of their materials put away. Maria, would you help our friend Kyle by putting his marker and eraser away? Looks like table 2 is almost ready. Table 3, all of their materials are put away and they're putting their name on their paper. When you get your paper,
put your name on it. When you get your paper, put your name on it. When you get your paper, put your name on it. 'Cause that's what third graders do. Woo!
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate your help, Karen. So I'm going to go ahead and be a wonderful student. And I'm going to put my name on the paper. We're going to do some of these together.
Okay.
First thing we need to do is label our container. Labeling always helps me think better, doesn't it? Starts at 100. Remember, not all vertical number lines, not all number lines start at 0. This one, 0 is the bottom of the container, or no liquid, 0 liquid, right? This is where 100 milliliters is. Did you have a question, Karen? Oh, let's see if a friend can help you. Anybody have a pencil for Miss Karen? Oh, thank you, Madison.
We have extra.
100 milliliters. My next tick mark is going to be 200 milliliters. Can you count with me? 300 milliliters, 400 milliliters, 500 milliliters, 600 milliliters. Let's count. 700 milliliters, 800 milliliters, 900 milliliters, and 1,000 milliliters, which is also equal to what?
10
100s. 1,000 milliliters is in 1. Who remembers?
1 kilogram. 1
What?
liter.
Ooh, kilogram was from earlier this week, right? 1 liter. 1,000 milliliters and 1 liter. Remember, that's our container that we have here. We want to go ahead and label the halfway mark. Number 16. Can you come up and label the halfway mark, please? Where's 16? Come on up, Ariana. We calculated where the halfway mark is, right? Can you mark on our container? Where's halfway? If you're not sure, you can phone a friend. Using our sentence frame.
I would like to mark on my time frame
Maria. Do you believe you can plot the halfway mark? Come on up, my friend. Thank you, Ariana. Come on up, student teacher. You can bring yours or you can use mine. You're my student teacher now. Go ahead and plot the halfway mark, please. Ooh, 500 milliliters. Class, is she correct?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Great job. Now what we want to do is explain how pouring each plastic cup of water helped us create a vertical number line, right? Now, I'm going to think about this. Some higher order thinking happening. And I'm going to remember what we did at the table. As we poured each cup of water, how did that help me create that vertical number line? Who can raise a quiet hand and explain that? Anybody? Anybody else? Miss Karen, can you explain that?
Like you got the water and then you lighted it.
Yes, so we marked each time we added 100 milliliters, right? So I'm going to use a full sentence. Pouring, please write this on your paper. Pouring each plastic cup of water helped me create a vertical number line. Oopsies. Because I could mark each tick measurement. Ooh, that's a long sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have strong hands though, right? We've been writing a lot lately. Kyle, what's up, buddy? Oh no, do you want to grab some water? Maybe you're a little dehydrated. All right. Quiet hand, please, if you can tell me what we should do for the next question. I'm going to read this out loud. If you pour out 300 milliliters of water, how many milliliters are left in the container? So we're starting with our 500 milliliters, as our wonderful and brilliant classmate Maria showed us. We want to pour out 300 milliliters. So we want to take away 300 milliliters from our container. Raise a quiet hand if you believe you can do this. Ooh, I see some hands up. I saw Madison's hand was up. And Madison, you raised a quiet hand. Can you come up and... Actually, I'm sorry. Why did you stay at your seat and tell me? What should we do? If you have 500 milliliters and you want to pour out 300, what should we do?
We should go from 500 and skip backwards.
I'm sorry, Kyle. Can you just power through it?
That would probably show us.
No. Sure. Go ahead. Grab that pass. Yes. So we're going to start at 500 milliliters and we're going to count down 300 milliliters, right? Can you guys skip count with me down? We're going to start at 500. Place your pencils on that halfway mark, please. Ready, set, count. 400, 300, 200. Stop. Very nice. So, Madison, what's my answer? How many are left?
The value is, the value of how many you have left is 200.
200, and I love how you tried to use our vocabulary word. Great effort. Can you say volume with me, class? Volume. Very nice. The volume is 200, and we always want to label our measurements, milliliters. Great job, Madison. Now we're going to go ahead and label these containers. This first containers, we're moving to liters now. I can see that the volume of this container is at the 3 liter tick mark. So I'm going to label this as 3 liters. The next one is at full capacity. Remember, the capacity is how much a container can hold, and it is holding at full capacity at 6 liters. Number 17. Can you tell me the volume of this next container? Who's number 17? Justin. What's the volume of this container? Pardon?
It's
400?
no, it's
4, what does this stand for? Liters. Yeah? 4 liters. Very nice. Class, let's give them a great job. 1, 2, 3. Great job. And lastly, number 3. What is the volume? Where's number 3? Hi, Jeremiah. What's the volume of this container? Yikes, this one's a little tricky. 0. Oh my goodness, you are so smart. 0 liters. Guys, let's give them a great job on 1, 2, 3.
Great job.
Go ahead and turn your paper over, please. We can always catch up. All right. I'm going to do this first one, and then we're going to do a couple of them together. We're going to, this time, estimate the amount of liquid in each container to the nearest 100 milliliters. Remember, now we're working on milliliters. Go ahead, Karen. Thank you for raising a quiet hand. All right. This first one, I'm looking carefully. I'm noticing the volume is really close to that 400. It's definitely closer to 400 than the 500. So I'm estimating that it's 400 milliliters. Does that look correct to you, class?
Yes.
All right. The next one, let's see. I'm going to estimate. Ooh, that looks like it's a little bit closer to the 200 milliliter mark. What do you think, class?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and estimate 200 milliliters. Number 10. Madison, you're lucky today. You keep contributing your smarts to our learning. Can you estimate? Is the volume of this container closer to 1,000 or 900?
I think that the volume is closer to 900.
Closer to 900? I'm going to draw an invisible line. Would you say, Madison, that line is closer to 900 or 1,000?
1,000.
Oh, very nice. We all make mistakes, right? That's part of learning. Let's give her a great job on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Estimating 1,000 milliliters. And our last one. Estimating number 24. Kevin, can you please tell me what you believe?
700
Ooh, 700. I'm going to draw a line. Wow, that looks really hard to estimate. It's really close to both of them, isn't it? I'm going to teach you something new, okay? Repeat after me. 5 or more.
5 or more.
Let it score.
Let it score.
4 or less.
4 or less.
Let it rest.
Let it rest.
So when it's about halfway, we want it round up. Do you think that's about halfway? Looks pretty close to halfway to me, no? No? It's kind of hard to tell, huh? I'm thinking it's about halfway. So I'm going to go ahead and let it score and round up to 800 milliliters. All right, we're almost finished. The chart below shows capacities of 4 barrels. We're going to go ahead and label the number line. We already have barrel A done for us. Barrel B is 68 liters. So I'm going to find the 60. I'm going to label these as well because that helps me think. 45, 55, 65, count with me. 75, 85, 95. So I've included my halfway marks. Barrel A is at 75. Barrel B is going to be our green. 68. So we have 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68. Remember those little 1 tick marks. And I'm going to label it barrel B. The next one I'd like you to count with me. Barrel C is going to be yellow. Hello, barrel C. All right, go ahead and count with me. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Do I want to go to 100?
No.
No, not quite. So I'm going to come down to 95. Now what should I do? Add 1. Yes, so we're here at 96. Good job, everyone. 96. And lastly, barrel D. Barrel D is going to be my blue. Class, where should I? Tell me when to stop. When you believe I should stop for 52 liters. 40, 45, 50.
Stop.
Oh, stop there. Okay, I'm going to count the ones now. 51, 52.
Stop.
Oh, perfect. 52. And this is barrel D. Barrel C. Barrel A, B. All right. Now we've labeled our number line. Which barrel has the greatest capacity, number 5? Samantha, can you tell me which barrel has the greatest capacity? What does greatest mean? The most. Which barrel has the most capacity?
Number C.
Ooh, barrel number C. Class, do you agree?
Yes.
Barrel C. Let's give her a great job on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Number 13. Where's number 13? Anthony. M. Oopsies, he must be in the restroom. How about number 19?
Oh.
Mr. Gavin, can you tell me which barrel has the smallest capacity? Barrel D. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Ben buys a barrel that holds about 70 liters. Which barrel did he most likely buy? Now we're going to estimate. We want to pick the barrel that's closest to our 70 tick mark. Number 7, can you tell me which barrel that would be?
It will be
Which barrel is closest to the 70 tick mark?
B.
Barrel number B. Class, do you agree?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Great job. All right, last but certainly not least, we're going to use this number line to find how many more liters barrel C can hold than barrel D. So I'm going to start at the lower one because I'm going to count up. So we're going to start with barrel B because that's lower. And we're going to count up. Another thing we could do is use a subtraction problem, but we're going to use our number line. So counting at barrel B, let's go ahead and count together. We're starting at 68. Ready, set, count. 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. You know what? I have a better idea. Let's try that again. I have a better strategy. We're going to count how many tick marks we go up until we get from B to C. Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's try that again. My mistake. Ready, set, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, keep counting, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Stop. Woo! That was a lot of counting. Class, all together, how many more is barrel B, C from barrel B? All together.
28.
28. Paper passers, we're now going to do our exit ticket. Where are my paper passers? One of my paper passers went to the nurse. His head was bothering him. Thank you, Nailia. Can I have another friend from this side of the room help? Ethan, can you help me? Sure. Ethan, can you do this side for me? Thank you, friends. we're going to read these questions together, and I want you to go ahead and review. I want you to review them with me so that you understand what this exit ticket is asking us to do. We're going to apply all the learning that we did today, right? Yeah. Aubrey, did you have a question?
Yeah. Is this like a ticket to something?
This is our exit ticket. Before you get started, though, I would like to just very briefly review our learning goal and see if we met our learning objective. Let's see if we did our job. So, did we use, who can raise a quiet hand and tell me, what is the customary unit to measure liquid? What is the unit that we use to measure liquid? Raise a quiet hand, Anthony M. Well, we sometimes use droppers, right? Who else?
Cups.
Sometimes we use the cups, but what is the name of that measurement, Aubrian?
100 milliliters.
I heard milliliters. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You agree, class? Very nice. Can you also, do you believe, raise a quiet hand if you believe that you can read the capacity of a container? Do you believe that you can read the capacity of a container?
Here.
Nice. Do you believe that you can do that using a vertical number line? Raise a quiet hand if you believe you can do that using a vertical number line. I don't see a lot of hands up. Do you believe you can read a capacity of a container? Yes? Yeah? How about, can you do that using that vertical number line? Awesome. Let's go ahead and read our learning objective one more time. Are you ready to read with me, class?
Yes.
Ready, set, read.
We will estimate and measure liquid volume in liters and milliliters using a vertical number line.
Did we do this today?
Yes.
Yes. Thumbs up if we did our jobs.
Yes.
Nice. Pat yourselves on the back. You're so smart. Okay. No problem. Let's see where our extras are. Here you go. Thank you. Sure. The next steps in our learning class is to apply what we learned today and complete this exit ticket. All right? So please go ahead and do this exit ticket. You're going to notice on the back of the exit ticket are some higher order thinking questions. Can you notice on the back? Turn it over. If you finish early, I want you to challenge yourself and complete these questions as well. These are higher order thinking questions. And you are so smart, class. I believe you can do it. Last option. If you complete that early as well, guess what, friends? I have a really fun opportunity for you. You can design your own Kahoot. I know.
I did one in my
What we can do is use our learning, apply it with some higher order thinking, really strong thinking, and design our own Kahoot. Imagine if we got to use your Kahoot to practice for our test next week. Those will be over here. Go ahead and work on your exit ticket, and when you're finished, you're going to turn it into your C-line sorter. Thank you, class, for letting me work with you today. I love you all. Aww.